So this is my first YouTube video and I honestly didn't think this would be the story I'd start with. Before I start, I want to be very clear about something. This has nothing to do with Brazilians. Brazilians have been some of the warmest, kindest, most welcoming people I've ever met in my life. Really and truly, I think I'll make a separate video about my experience with Brazil. This story starts at a very specific moment in my life. I had just gotten my first scholarship during my last class of my law degree. And if you know anything about me, I mean, obviously you don't because it's my first video, but what I want to say is I'm just one of those people that never gets things in a simple way. I always find myself having to work extra hard. Everybody's doing it, but B has to do it extra hard for whatever reason. So if we're giving free gifts, I'm not getting it. If we're playing bingo, I'm not getting picked. Like, I just always have to work super duper hard. It's been my life. So I'm used to it. Hopefully that makes sense. So yeah, getting a scholarship really felt special and very unreal. Plus, I remember our faculty advisor mentioning that they had tried to apply for that scholarship before, but they just never got it. So I didn't even want to apply because I knew I wasn't going to get it. But anyways, got the scholarship. So that was super nice. I was like, oh my God. And they covered my plane ticket. So basically that was the scholarship to go to Brazil. The organization was amazing. The steps were simple, very clear. Yeah, so that's the position I'm in. It was a summer class. I had already done one in the past, and it was a really good experience. We went to Costa Rica, but this time was different because last time I was sharing the room with one of my girls. We had fun. Everything felt easy. And this time I was scared because at that point in my life, all my friends were done with school. They graduated, moved on, and me, I had taken an extra semester, which is the summer semester. And I had also quit my job. I mean, I didn't have a choice because my job required an internship and the internship was going to happen while I was in Brazil. But I knew that I needed to do this for sure. So I jumped right into it. Plus, Brazil had been my dream country for ever since I can remember, like since forever. I remember being in elementary school and doing oral presentations about Brazil every chance I got. I don't know why. It's just been a dream of mine. So I was like, okay, let's do it. About 3 months before the trip, we had a group meeting with the faculty. And it was about 30 students in that room. So it was about 30 of us going on that trip. And we also had to choose our roommates. Now, most people came with friends, so they knew each other. That's when this girl, someone I had met during my last summer class in Costa Rica, we hadn't really spoken to each other. We probably had about 1 or 2 interactions together. She asked me if I wanted to partner with her, and I was like, yes. So we exchanged Instagram, and then life just went on. For the sake of the story, we're just gonna give names. So let's call my roommate Data-Free Diva. The reason why we're calling her Data-Free Diva is because I remember her telling me that she did not want to pay for data. She didn't pay for it because if there's anything, she could always use somebody else's data. And if it's a real emergency, she could always use her because she had a plan with her company. And I said, okay. And looking back, that was kind of dangerous because you just never know. But in my head, the faculty had said, stay together, stay in groups, and you guys will be fine. So in my head, we were going to be together too. So if there's anything, I'm willing to share my data. So I didn't think much of it. So about a month before the trip, Data-Free Diva reached out. We started talking about flights, activities, what we wanted to do. We were sending each other TikToks, ideas, places to go. And I told her something. I said, I'm a little picky with food, But anything activities, really you have the green card because I'm easygoing. I love everything, anything in life. I mean, as long as we don't kill ourselves or do anything too crazy, but really you have the green card. I love everything, girl. So anything I send is really not mandatory. We booked the flight, we get to Brazil. At first, things are going well. We talk. We're not besties, but we do talk. And we even arrived a couple of days earlier than the rest of the group. And then we start meeting other people who are part of the program. And if I'm being honest, there was a shift at some point because obviously you start meeting people and we have different interests. So there was a shift because she met this boy. We're gonna call him Romeo. Okay, let's call him Romeo. So Data Free Diva, my roommate, meets Romeo, and there's a shift. I can tell they get along well. None of us knew him prior to this. And the best way I can describe Data Free Diva's dynamic with Romeo is that Data Free Diva was kind of addicted to him. Every plan, every decision somehow involved Romeo. Okay? That's the best way I can put it. I noticed it. Some people noticed it. And we're gonna leave it at that because that's a whole other. Back to the story, y'all. So yeah, we're in Brazil for school. At the end of the day, we're in Brazil for school. Even if it's 5 days and we extended the trip, we are here for school. And we have school from like 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Despite us going to do activities, we need to show up for class. So after a full week, we are exhausted. It's our last day, our last school day. Not the last day of the trip, but our last school day. And one of the girls I had been working with during the whole week, we met because we were partners for the project, asked me if I wanted to go to the club. She knows I love to dance and I love music. I'm not really a clubber, but I love music. And when I travel, go to places, I want to experience the culture, and music is a huge part of that. So I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'm down. And she was like, girl, where have you been? I should have met you before because we have been doing different activities this whole week. Like, there's no sleeping in here. I'm like, girl, I still need my sleep, but I'll be down to go and do something with you, because we just got along very well. So later, I tell Data Free Diva that I was invited to go to the club, and I said, "Would you be down to go?" And at this point, the girl invited me on Thursday, and she planned on going to the club the next day. So on Friday, which was the last school day. And so she told me she wasn't really down. Data Free Diva wasn't really down. I said, okay. Other people weren't too interested. Some people were. Anyway, so I figured I'd just go with the girl and her group because I had met her group too. They were really nice. And in a trip, we don't like the same things. That's fine. That's okay. Friday comes, it's the last day of the program, and after the last day of school, we had lunch with our supervisors, Brazilians, Brazilian students, or students from across the world. Some of them presented their projects, so we had lunch together, and it was so much fun. It was so much fun. I feel like we really got to know each other there, but unfortunately, it was the last day. So we get back to the hotel, and I'm getting ready to go to the club. And I get a call from Data Free Diva. She's like, hey, B, are you still going to the club? I said, yes, I'm actually getting ready. What's up? You changed your mind? And then she's like, well, I wasn't going to come, but now Romeo has been trying to convince me, and now I'm thinking about it. Should I come or not? Mind you, I had already asked a couple of times, and she said no. I didn't think too much of it. I said, you know what? We're together anyway. We're sharing the same room. So let's go. And I told her, we don't have to stay for long. We go for 30 minutes, maybe an hour. We like it, we stay. We don't, we just go back to the hotel. Anyway, tomorrow we have something planned and we have to wake up early. So let's just do it. We'll come back together. You know what? Because I'm getting peer pressured. Let's do that. And I'm like, okay, well, come and get ready. I'll be there getting ready so we could get ready together. But she had decided to go and pre-drink with Romeo. I'm not a drinker, so I didn't go. She's pre-drinking. I'm changing. And at some point, I even go to the girl that had invited me. I go to her room to put on some perfume. And I go back into my room, finish changing. I go downstairs. Because at this point, a group chat is created and more people want to come. They want to go. I guess it's the last day, so people are like, okay, I changed my mind whatsoever. So we're waiting in the lobby. Now, everyone's in the lobby. Some people want to go straight to the club because they had already pre-drinked. And other people want to go to a bar first to pre-drink and then get to the club. So we're trying to maneuver through that to see how to organize the group. And then there's one person missing in the Uber to go to the club first too. So I'm trying to accommodate everyone. So I'm like, you know what? I had told Data Free Diva that we were going back to the hotel together. And I'm also not a drinker, so I'll just go. There's a person missing in the Uber too. I'll just go to the club. And then we'll all meet there either way. Like everyone's going to the club at the end of the day. I mean, at the end of the night, either way. But the girl that had invited me, mind you, she begged me to stay with her. She was like, girl, please stay with us. Like, stay with us. And I was like, girl, I'll just make it easier for everyone. You know, I'll just go to the club. And it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, we're all going to the same place. So you have your fun there first, and then we'll turn up together at the club. I give her a hug and we left. So we each took different Ubers. So we get to the club. There were about 8 of us because originally we were 16 and about 8 people went pre-drinking and 8 people went straight to the club. So the math was mathing. Anyways, we arrive at the club and I see security guards in front of the entrance and one of them is doing this, because it's July, so really it's winter in Brazil. So I jokingly said, "You're cold, es frío?" And he says, "Hell yeah." So we start talking, we start joking, and then we realize, oh my god, he speaks French. So we all start speaking in French to him. We pay the entrance, and already, you guys, I'm debating things in my head because I'm not hearing Brazilian music. That's not what I expected, and that's not really my vibe. So I was like, oh, okay. I say hi to each security guards I see there, and the group decides to go to the bathroom first. And as soon as I enter one of the one of the toilets, I don't know how to call it. It's nasty, you guys. It's nasty. It's a mixed bathroom. And I don't know, but the one cabinet or toilet I opened was just, oh my god, I wanted to throw up. I was like, there's no way. So I decided to change bathrooms. I change, it's just as bad. I change and I finally find one that makes sense. I was one of the last ones in our group to go in because of that. And so when I come back out, I don't see anyone. And at first I think, okay, well, someone's probably still in it because there were people behind me. So I wait. And I wait. I don't see anyone. I wait. And I start noticing people staring at me. I don't recognize a single face. I don't recognize a single face. And that's when it hits me. I'm alone in Brazil. It's about 1:30 in the morning by myself in the club. It ain't fun. Like they left. All of them left. I go to the rooftop, then another floor, then another. I get lost. The lights are blue. I can't see clearly. My head is spinning. My heart is beating. The music's loud. And I'm panicking inside. I am panicking inside. Like, what the hell? I want to cry. Because I texted Romeo, no response. I texted, there was no point in me texting Data Free Girly Pop because she didn't have no data. And if anything, I didn't really know the rest of the group, but Data Free Diva, like, you're in the same room with me. You don't notice me not being there? I'm like, okay. No one texted, no one said anything. I texted one of the girls that was in the Uber because I found her on the group. But we were not following each other, so my message goes straight into her requests. And at this point, I'm just panicking. Man. Sorry, y'all. I had to stop recording. I think you can notice with the lipstick because the color changed. At this point, I've been inside of that club for about 10, maybe 15 minutes. I'm not enjoying a single song. At this point, the night is not young anymore. It's already going badly. So I text two girls I was really close with in the program. I knew they were probably sleeping because they were going to bed when I left, but I took a chance. I texted, hey, are you still sleeping? They both replied, no, what's up? I tell them, I don't see anyone. Before I can even write something else, you guys, I didn't even get a chance to put back my thoughts. Both of them replied, what? We're coming to get you. Send the address. And I had texted the girls, I will wait outside. And they had texted me, girl, stay your ass inside up until we tell you that we are here in the Uber ready to come pick you up. And I was like, okay. Because I think I so wanted to get out of there at this point. I did not feel safe at all. I wanted out. I guess I wasn't thinking straight because obviously that's the right thing to do. Either way, when it's time to leave, I go back to the entrance and I give my ticket or I pay. I don't remember what it was, but what it was, I gave it back or I paid. And the lady at the entrance was shocked. She's like, already? And I said, yeah, music's not really my genre. And then the security guard, remember the one that was shaking? He was like, girl, you have taste. Because I have been saying it, but they were not listening to me. And then we joke around and I'm like, you guys have a good night. Because at this point, the girls had texted. They were there. Let's do a quick math here. Because it took me about 2 to 3 minutes in the bathroom to realize I was alone. And then going up and down the floors, I want to say it took me about 5 minutes. Because, there was the rooftop and I believe there were like 3 floors in that club. So we're at 8 minutes. I had already texted the girls whatsoever as soon as I realized I was alone. Yeah, so we're at 8 minutes. The girls were going to take about 15 minutes to get to the club. By the time they ordered their Uber, I want to go for 20. If they had to wait for the Uber whatsoever, which means it took about 20 to 25, more like 25 minutes for anyone else that I came with to realize I was gone, not there. Because that's when the girl texted back. In the same conversation, Data Free Diva texts, so she signs her name at the end. She says something along the line of, sorry girl, we lost you so early in the process. Sorry, I had to go back and check the text, but to summarize it, that's what she said. Sorry girl, we lost you so early in the process. I ignored it. Because meanwhile, the girls who came to get me, they're in Uber mad at everyone in that function. They're like, what the hell? Like, who leaves someone alone? And it took them all this time to realize you're gone? Yo, they wanted to cuss everybody out. I think they wanted to cause a scene. They wanted to cuss everybody out. And I was like, guys, girls, like, just calm down. These girls came to pick me up, guys. in their pajamas, in their freaking PJs in Brazil. In Brazil. The girls are going in that car. They're going in. I'm just like, calm down, let it go, guys. It's life. Things like this happen. But honestly, I think I'm shocked. And I'm also very calm by nature, so I don't have much to say. I'm disgusted. I'm sad. Name it. Name all the feelings. Really, but not surprised by human beings. So it's a mix of everything. I'm speechless. Pretty much. And I'm like, there's no need to go off on these people. Clearly, we don't have the same values. Clearly. So it's fine. Let it go, y'all. Just let it go. So we go back to the hotel. One of the girls that came to pick me up, she went to bed. But the two girls that I had texted are in there in the room. So it's me and them. And we're talking, revisiting our whole experience within that trip. Lessons we learned. A whole lot of lessons. Because a lot of people were really selfish within that group. The lack of consideration was crazy. Some people only moved for themselves. And how dangerous it can be. Do you realize how dangerous that can be? Especially in another country where you don't know a soul. A soul. So yeah, so we're just talking from 2 a.m. to like 4 a.m. And at 4, what's her name? Data for Diva pops in the room. She's like, hey, so sorry. So sorry. And I tell her, it's okay. And the girls are in there. And they're like, well, we're gonna go be. And I said, thank you guys so much. Like, you guys don't even understand how grateful I am. Thank you. And then Data Free Diva says, can we talk? And I'm like, not really. It's 4 a.m. Leave me alone. I don't want to talk about anything. And she's begging y'all. She's like, I understand you don't want to see my face right now. And you have all of the reasons in the world. And she says, I wanted to leave too, but Romeo didn't want me to go and take an Uber by myself. And she says, plus, I didn't have any data, but you saw, like, as soon as I could get somebody's phone, I texted you. And I'm thinking, if this had been an emergency, you would have used your emergency plan. Okay, so be fucking serious. So I tell her calmly, because these are things that are going into my head at this point. I'm just listening to her. I said, clearly, our values are different. I work in a team. That's how I think. I accommodate. I wasn't even supposed to go with you. I was supposed to go with the girl that invited me. And I'm realizing some people just don't have the same principles and values as me, and that's okay. We were not friends before the trip. We never really were friends. And ever since you met Romeo, your world has been all about him. So, girl, okay. And I go to bed. Yeah, and I just said, girl, it's 4 a.m. Like, good night. There's nothing to talk about. That was it. The next day, not really the next day, the same day, was also our last day in Brazil. Because the next day we had to take the plane, so we were gonna stay up in the sky for the whole day. So really, that day was our last day. So I went to a dance class in the morning, and I spent the day with the girls that came to pick me up. The two girls that I was talking to in the room. The right people, basically. And then a free diva and I went to the airport the next day. I paid for my part of the hotel immediately. As soon as I got back home, I paid for my part. And after that, I blocked her. I also want to say that the girl that had invited me to the club, like the one I was supposed to be with in the first place, she reached out around 3 a.m. Like, as soon as she got into the club, she said, girl, where are you at? But I had already left. I was at the hotel, so I said, oh, I left. And she was like, girl, what? And she was like, I just got there. And I was like, yeah. Long story, she said, oh my God, can we do a part two? Like tonight I was planning on going somewhere else. Do you plan on coming? And I said, no, it's fine. I'm too tired. I'll just go to sleep tonight. Yeah, so we never got a chance to do anything together, really. But I'm glad she reached out as soon as she came to the club. So yeah. And if you're wondering about Romeo, there's a lot to say about that one. Next video. And that's a wrap on my first ever YouTube video. My name is Berli, also known as Orly. If you want to follow me on other platforms, you have my TikTok for school tips, Instagram for vibes, and here on YouTube is where the stories live. While I tell you guys the usual, like, comment, subscribe, and share, please y'all, protect yourselves from the data-free divas of this world, okay? Bye.